An attorney in Florida claims he's helping drivers legally beat DUI checkpoints. It's a privacy thing. The law's not there. He says you should not lower your window to interact with the police officers unless they have some sort of reason to believe that you might have done something wrong. Instead, he says you should attach a bag to the window, a bag holding your license, registration, and insurance, along with a card that reads, "I remain silent, no searches, I want my lawyer." And then below it says, "Put any tickets under the windshield wiper. I'm not required to sign under this statute here. I'm not required to hand you my license. Thus, I am not opening my window. I will comply with clearly stated lawful orders." All true. Ha ha ha. Good luck trying it with Johnny Law. A lawyer has posted videos online showing how you do this.
We are approaching a DUI checkpoint. We will have our windows rolled up. Our doors are locked. We will not say a word.
Sure enough, an officer examines the documents and lets the driver go. Critics say this lets people get away with driving drunk. But, you know, people who understand privacy and the law say this stops the cops from breaking the law systematically. One attorney says it's all about asserting your constitutional right to prohibit unreasonable searches. Let's get to Phil Keating, who's down in South Florida, who my guess is, and it's just a guess, could have used this tactic at one point or another. Tell us more about this attorney's campaign, sir.
Always in a cab, Shep, but
Good.
Warren Redlich, the anti-checkpoint activist, he is not only a defense attorney and a former libertarian candidate for governor in the state of New York, he also finds that checkpoints as a rule are just inherently un-American and unconstitutional. But he says if you drive into one, all you got to do is put his flyer right up against the window. He says he has actually done this successfully 8 times. He and his friends all over the state of Florida, every single time, they say, same result. The cop reads the sign, confers with each other, then just waves them right out of their way. Redlich says always be polite with the police, just don't do more than you're asked.
I've seen too many innocent people arrested for drunk driving, and I've seen innocent people convicted of drunk driving, and I want to make the system more fair. Checkpoints are a publicity stunt. They're not effective.
Also, he says a drunk person could never pull this off, as number one, you have to remain silent, and two, you've got to be patient in your car, which Shep, he says drunk people are not prone to do.
You know, a lot of police departments actually announce when and where these DUI checkpoints are going to be, so the statistics indicate they're really not that effective.
They do forewarn the public. Clearly not all the public pays attention to those warnings, but they also randomize these checkpoints, maybe pulling over every 4th or 5th car, things like that. And studies on the effects of these checkpoints vary. Some say they reduce drunk driving accidents by as little as 9%. Others put it more like 20%. 10,000 people last year, though, did die in drunk driving accidents, per the feds. And that is why Mothers Against Drunk Driving, which supports checkpoints, stands firm.
The fact is that driving is a privilege and it's not a right. No more victims. We are looking at this point to say that we can end drunk driving at some point in my lifetime. So we are looking for no more victims.
And Redlich has now tailored his flyer for about a dozen states. Shep?
It's interesting because one thing that DUI checkpoints definitely are is a cash cow for the cop shop.